Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video, and today I am going to try to catch up with this whole slew of Transformers news that has happened over the past week. And there has been pretty much the entirety of the Studio Series lineup for 2025 has been leaked. And boy, are Bay fans going to be happy, G1 fans are going to be happy. Man, there's a lot to talk about. And, and this is in light of the fact that Hasbro has been having some issues with certain things, but I'm not going to focus on Hasbro as a whole. I'm going to try to keep this video focused on the Transformers stuff because it's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover and catch up on. So without further ado, let's sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. So I want to thank each and every one of you who continues to support the channel and you watch my Transformers retrospectives and my news videos, and sometimes I do a lot of reviews and stuff like that. You can also help the channel either by subscribing or watching, sharing this video, or you can become a patron or a channel member to help support the channel as well. And I also have some awesome t-shirts and other things that you can get on my TeePublic store. I'll have the links in the description. So let's get on to the Transformers news. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to give an update for the Transformers Legacy Robots in Disguise 2001 Omega Prime. It has reached its goal for at least being backed, and it also hit its first tier, which is at 13,000, backers in order to get the Matrix Spear, basically. And the next tier is going to be, I believe, at 16,000, and that will get you the Energon, ground bridge, or whatever they want to call it, basically the display stands. And I think there are going to be some more tiers after that fact. But pretty much within the next 21 days is how long you have to basically make the decision whether or not you want to back this thing. And if you are going to back it, you can back it now and it won't charge you until the 21 days is up for the crowdfunding, because it's definitely backed already. But you just want to make sure that you get all that they intend to release with this thing. Now, I know some folks have had their qualms about it, and they've said, like, oh, I don't want to necessarily back it, or I don't like it. It's really up to you. This is really more so about a figure that they don't feel that they would have been able to bring to retail for whatever reason, and so they're doing it here through HasLab, just the same way that they did Victory Saber, just the same way they did Deathsaurus, and I think the figure looks great. I do, If I had $250 and I really, really wanted this figure, I probably would back it. That's kind of the thing right now. Some people are having some difficulty with the economy being up and down as it is. So it is what it is, and I understand people's qualms about it, but I do think the figure looks great, and it's completely up to you. They did have the painted models available to see through a video through Hasbro Pulse, and they mentioned that the Optimus Prime's ladder could extend. They also said that the Optimus Prime has compatibility with Titan Masters in vehicle mode, that both of them have shiny white plastic, and quite a bunch of different things that with this whole listing right here that really do just make the figure look that much better. I do like the fact that they're not doing the vac metal on the chest. So the chest itself is going to be just a straight painted figure. Now, mind you, this is the painted prototype, which means that they got the prototype and then they hand painted it. The finished model is going to look a little bit different, but that's going to be the base robot. That's kind of what it looked like. It does look a little stocky and weird, but the original figure was kind of like that too. Like you can see here, the proportions are a little different. And I'll be honest with you, I do like the proportions on the original better than the new one for the base robot. So, but the full-size robot looks fantastic, and so does Omega Prime. The reason why they actually stated the reason why the proportions are different is so that the figure can hold its weight when it's fully combined and on your display shelf. That's really the whole purpose of it. And I've got to, like I said, I think the figure looks fantastic. It's a matter of perspective about whether or not you want it. The new Ultra Magnus is a lot more posable than the original one was. That is a plus. You know, which is interesting because the original figure was posable, but it transformed a little bit differently than this one does. And that's fine. But it's all a matter of perspective. You know, any convincing that I can do for you, you probably already either made your decision or whether or not you decided to get this thing or not. So it's all a matter of whether or not you want it. Now, if you saw Transformers Rise of the Beasts, you probably saw at the end where they kind of alluded to that this next movie that they want to do is maybe something to set up a G.I. Joe crossover. Now, I know they've been wanting to do this for a while to really try to get G.I. Joe to be involved in the Transformers universe. They're doing a fantastic job with the Skybound comics. Let me tell you, the way that it's all incorporating together with G.I. Joe and Transformers in that particular universe is fantastic. But as for live action films, I don't know if they can handle it well. We've had 3 G.I. Joe movies, right? And, you know, the live action films have been what they've been. You had basically the 5 Bay films are supposed to be set in their own continuity, yet Lorenzo believes that they connect with Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts, even though they don't, because it's like a different continuity there. But, you know, really honestly, he says, like, I don't even know. I'm like, okay, all right, you want to make the promise that you want to do a G.I. Joe crossover. You know, apparently they filmed both a G.I. Joe ending and a Sector 7 ending just to tie it into the Bayverse if, you know, and they chose to go with the G.I. Joe route. So I don't know if this is going to be a good idea. I think they got to get a good G.I. Joe film out. And that's kind of hard to do for, you know, for new audiences to try to get them really excited about G.I. Joe, considering that, like, Snake Eyes was awful. You know, the only real decent one was, you know, what was it, Revenge of Cobra, the second one? You know, but unfortunately they killed Duke in that movie. It's just they've not had a good going at G.I. Joe in film. And, you know, maybe it's just something that they're just trying to really shoehorn everything in. I feel they did the same thing with the Maximals in the movie as well with Rise of the Beasts, is that they shoehorned the Beasts in there and didn't give the Beast characters the proper attention that they deserved. You know, specifically, even though like the Optimus versus Scourge thing was what it was, and that's, again, you know, Rise of the Beast was kind of middle of the road for me. I like Bumblebee a little bit more as far as the movie is concerned, but it's a matter of whether or not you want it. Now, the listings have been one heck of a leak. I tell you, like, we're pretty much getting to see what all of the listings are for all of the Transformers figures that are going to be coming out in the next year. And you know something? It makes me want to see the figures more. Like, honestly, I'm really enthusiastic about the release of all these Transformers figures, but all that we're, you know, seeing is listings, right? And this is a matter of JT Prime 17 has been doing all these listings. Apparently, I'm guessing that he has a retail outlet, so he gets to see what the listings are, and I think he's leaving. And so now that he has access to it now, he's releasing everything that he's finding and then just exiting. That's apparently what he said he's doing. And because of that, we've now figured out that the Project Renaissance is actually going to be the Ninja Turtles Party Wagon. Now, what version of the Party Wagon that they're going to do? Are they going to do the 87 one? Are they going to do something with the 2003 Turtles? Are they going to do something with the 2012 Turtles? Personally speaking, I hope they go with the 87 Turtles. Just because that's like where the party van, you know, really got its start. You know, I know that there's the 84 Turtles, but they had a different, you know, way about getting around, you know, in the comic books. So it's very different. So I'm actually excited for this because my kids are starting to get into Ninja Turtles just as much as they love G1 Transformers. So having that crossover was like the perfect crossover, really, honestly. Now, I said this the last time that I talked about the Mayhem Attack Squad, about the characters that are coming and whether or not I really wanted them. And now hearing the listings here, I'm like, I'm in. I'm in. I want the entirety of the Mayhem Attack Squad. I did not get the Legacy Bludgeon figure, so this is actually going to be an opportunity for me to be able to get the Legacy, Bludgeon figure if it's just going to be a redeco. Ruckus is definitely a character I want. Barrage, Chop Chop. I think they're probably going to do a redeco maybe of that, the Legacy Knockout figure. We'll see. But Windsweeper, I think if I had to put my finger on it, Windsweeper is probably going to be a redeco and with a new head for Needle Nose. Chop Shop, probably they're going to go with a retool of Legacy Shrapnel. Barrage, I don't know which insect they're going to use for him. Maybe they might use Bombshell? I don't know. I mean, it would have to be a heavier retool in order for that to work. And, Knockout and Ruckus, it's all a matter of, I honestly don't know there. But just the listings alone have gotten me excited about them. I actually do want the whole thing for the Mayhem Attack Squad. They're apparently going to be an Amazon exclusive. So it's like you could only get the figures through them. But, hey, you know what? When we get to finally see what the figures look like, we'll find out. That being said, all of 2025 Studio Series listings here that have been listed here are making fans, totally happy. This is, if you want the Gamer Edition stuff, if you want Bayverse, if you want 86 characters, you're getting it a lot next year. This year, we kind of have an idea already about what we're getting, but now hearing about what we're getting in 2025, I mean, it's only February of 2024, right? And we now get to see what they're doing, for the next year. We don't know if any of these listings are going to get changed, shifted around, moved around, but just based upon what they're doing here, oh man, it is a massive laundry list here of figures that people are definitely going to want to get. And I want to talk about the Bayverse stuff first, just because you guys know, I want to gush about the G1 stuff, right? So if I get to do that, then, then I'll let you guys have your live action stuff first. And that being said, we already know they're doing stuff for Transformers 1. So they're going to do a B127. So yeah, Transformers 1 looks like it's going to take place in the beginnings of the Bumblebee verse, at least as far as the origin stories for the Transformers. They're doing a A-level deluxe dev for Optimus Prime. Is that going to be for, I wonder what Optimus Prime that's going to be. Now, that's going to be interesting to find out what Optimus Prime that'll be. Double Punch, specifically, is a blue Scorponok from the Rise of the Beasts movie. Everybody has been wanting to know whether or not they're getting Hatchet. You're finally getting Hatchet. You're going to get him in Studio Series. Looks like they're doing a Bumblebee movie. Bumblebee, I don't know if it's an Earth mode, whether or not it's an actual Volkswagen Beetle, or if it's the Jeep, or if it's a Cybertronian mode. We don't know. Or if it's the Camaro, a clean version of the Camaro. Maybe we'll see which one they just decide to do. They're doing a Transformers 1 Starscream. That's expected. A Q for Dark of the Moon. So those of you who want a Q figure, yeah, he's not Wheeljack. It's Q. In the same way they did Dino. Q and Dino are two separate characters. Again, I'm going to skip over the 86 stuff and I'm going to come back to it. But they're doing a Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Autobot Soldier. So it's going to be a generic Autobot. Probably a retool of either Sideswipe or Bumblebee. We'll see which figure they use. Transformers 4 Widowmaker. That is this female robot right here. I don't know what she transforms into. Maybe it's a scorpion. Maybe this was a concept that they were doing for the fourth movie and didn't know what they were going to do. So again, we're getting more concept stuff. Interesting. Gamer Edition Skywarp, and Gamer Edition Thundercracker. Very much to be expected, considering we've already seen what Starscream looks like. So at least now we're getting Skywarp and Thundercracker. This is actually a good thing for those who want Skywarp. I actually think it's great because if you got the Siege Thundercracker and you can't find yourself a Skywarp, Well, here, now you can have a Cybertronian mode Skywarp. Unless you get them both and then make them your Cybertronian mode for the two of them. That's also an option too. It looks like they're doing a package refresh for the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. They're doing a Transformers 1 Sentinel Prime. I'm curious as to what this design for Sentinel Prime will be, whether it'll be based on Dark of the Moon, whether it'll be based upon Generation 1, whether or not it'll be based on the IDW comics. We'll see what Sentinel Prime looks like for Transformers 1. Now, this is probably going to be a redeco for Optimus Primal. They're going to do Ape Link. That actually is exciting. I wonder what the robot mode is going to look like. Is it going to follow the original toy? Because he's technically a silver gorilla, and then in robot mode, he's supposed to have like a lot of red and green parts. But we never saw that in the film because he got killed before that point. And whereas Optimus Primal was all black. So I'm guessing he's probably just going to be all silver. You know, they're not going to, ever give us something that actually makes sense. And they're also going to do a package refresh for the Transformers Dark of the Moon Shockwave. So if you want that particular figure, as well as a Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. So now we don't know if that's going to be the escape mode or whether or not it's going to be the later night version look for him. We'll find out. Now, let's get into the 86 stuff. The 86 stuff is just like, it's getting fans really, really excited. Right off the bat, I'm going to go from the bottom and I'm going to work my way back up. But I have been saying this for how long, that they need to re-release Studio Series 86 Grimlock. I said in my last video, like, hey, if you really wanted a Grimlock, they're doing that comic book accurate version. Well, now if you want to skip that and you want to wait till next year to get your 86 Grimlock, here is your chance. Because this year, in 2024, they're doing Swoop. We haven't seen what Swoop looks like, but we do know what Grimlock looks like as far as the comic book version is concerned, and they're getting doing a package refresh for the regular Studio Series 86 Grimlock. I'm excited about them both because fans who want either version of Grimlock can now get them instead of just the weird tiger stripe version for G2 and the shattered glass Trypticon style colors. Now you're going to be able to get Grimlock how you want them. Especially for those who didn't collect the first, this is what I heard from a lot of people. They saw Slag come out, as named Slug, of course, with the, naming convention. And people were like, now I want to get Grimlock, but they couldn't get their hands on Grimlock. And that shot the prices for Grimlock up, skyrocketing super high. Well, now they've done Sludge, and I still haven't received my Snarl yet. Like, it's still in my pre-order list for Entertainment Earth. And so I'm waiting to get Snarl myself. But they are now going to be doing Swoop this year and Grimlock once again next year. That I'm very excited for people who really want Grimlock. So I took a lot of time to say that, but yeah. Now, here is the big one. Devastator. G1 86 Devastator. I'm excited about this one. I have the Combiner Wars figure. I wish it was so much better. It could have been so much better. The United version, they actually incorporated a lot more posability in the figure. The problem with Combiner Wars Devastator is that he was designed to be the vehicles transform into Devastator, and then they thought after the fact about making them transform into the Constructicons. Here, it looks like they're going to finally get their chance to do it over again, and this Devastator will scale pretty much with the Legacy Menasor. I'm glad they're doing Devastator, but after they do Devastator, I really, really want them to do the aerial bots. Get another chance to get the aerial bots because I missed out during the Combiner Wars line for many of the Combiner figures, which reminds me, very, very shortly I'm going to be doing listings for my own collection where I'm going to be downsizing my collection. And I'll let you guys know, whether or not you want to buy them before I list them up on eBay. I'll post pictures and stuff like that when I'm ready to make some sales and make some room for more Transformers toys. Because that's pretty much what it is. Like, you want to have, like, the collection be what you want it to be. And, you know, I always say to people, like, if you can't collect it, don't feel bad if you can't afford all these Transformers toys, because they're getting expensive. You know, especially considering that Mixmaster and Scrapper are going to be Voyagers, and Scavenger and Bone Crusher are going to be Deluxes. So I wonder which ones are going to come with the combiner parts. And I'm also curious as to where Long Haul and Hook are going to end up, because the two of them have to come with most of the combiner parts. And I wonder if Long Haul specifically is going to end up being a leader. But I'll get to that in a minute. Because, you know, with Bone Crusher and Scavenger being Deluxes, you know, will they come with the arm parts for Devastator? Because that was like part of the weapon that they had come with that had the drill, you know, the drill bit that, like, you know, came off, whatever, for the original toy. And, you know, so a new Devastator is very welcome. Like, I'm just really, really excited about that. They're doing some package refreshes for Jazz and Perceptor. I want Magnificus. I actually missed out on him. So if there's a way for them to re-release that somehow, because all the times that I tried to get the listing and I couldn't get my hands on it, and now he's like seems to be sold out. So I mean, I do want Magnificus myself personally. The next listings that have been found are Leader Class Galvatron and Megatron. Now, I'm curious as to how they're going to do the two of them. We have been waiting for a definitive Generation 1 Megatron. Siege kind of did it. Earthrise, not so much. I hated the color scheme on it. And then you had the, you know, Galvatron. And the Galvatron figure is fine, but it's very purple. It's more Season 3 ACOM purple, and not movie and Toei Season 3 bluish purple. Like an indigo-ish blue, you know. And so if they do Galvatron, they've got to do Galvatron in this particular color scheme, and that I would very much welcome, even if it's the same mold, because, you know, maybe they might retool him a little bit, give him better hands, give him better feet, you know, that actually work a lot better. I know that there are third-party people, and, you know, who, and I would say third-party, but like people who have done 3D prints of better feet. Like the Madness and Neurowing, they've actually done better feet for that Galvatron. I ended up putting a better head on my Earthrise Megatron and repainted him, which you guys have seen my short for that. You know, and I've done images, but man, to have a good G1 Megatron. Now, understand something. I would love it. And I know you don't have to explain to me about the rules about it. They're most likely not going to do G1 Megatron as a gun from the main robot. What I think that they're going to do is that he's going to come with a bunch of accessories, and one of them will be Megatron in gun mode. And if they do that, I'll be fine, right? However, if they're going to transform him into a tank, it's not going to look right. Where are they going to hide the tank treads? You know, where are they going to make sure that all the bits of the vehicle mode adjust properly to give us a proper G1 animation model accurate 86 Megatron? How are they going to do that? Are they going to get it right? You know, that's what worries me. So, you know, yeah, okay, fine. He might be a tank mode. But if you're going to do a tank, you've got to hide all those tank bits in robot mode so that he looks like a G1 Megatron in robot mode. Like, it has to actually work. And if you can't hide the tank bits, then maybe you might want to choose a different vehicle mode. Maybe a helicopter. Maybe an upside down submarine, if you know what I mean. You know, do something that just works to still give us that robot. And that's really the bottom line for me, is that I want a Megatron that's more accurate in robot mode. And the War for Cybertron mold just really doesn't do it for me to actually make that work the way that I would like it to. You know, considering that, like, you could see on the side of Megatron's, you know, hips that he has the big panels. That actually has to do with the way that the original toy transformed. If you look at the animation model for the back of Megatron, how that is how the actual robot, you know, connected to the back piece there. Like, it's all like everything from his animation model is incorporated from his original G1 toy. So it has to work. And they did a great job with Galvatron. So that's why I'm saying, like, just do some retooling on that Galvatron figure, and I'll be all in for it. But Megatron is the one they've got to get right. Because I know they're going to do a Studio Series 86 Optimus, but can they do Megatron right? And give us, like, have him, his wrists be posable. All of the things that need to make this figure work. This is the one that I'm really hoping does it a lot better. And I know it's going to be a new mold. I know it's going to be a new mold. They have to. They even said, like, they're not going to do Megatron and they're not going to do Megatron and Optimus as already using the existing molds for Studio Series 86. They're going to do it right this time, at least. But I'm sure a lot of people are going to end up selling their existing ones that they have. So we'll see where they go with it. And that being said, I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about all these listings? I mean, man, it's just like leak after leak. And I'm sure there's going to be more leaks today and tomorrow. Apparently, that's what we're going to end up finding out, is we're going to find out more stuff that's found in the listings. Personally speaking, I'm excited for what 2025 is going to look like for Transformers. It's a lot of stuff that people really want for Bayverse. It's a lot of stuff that people really want for G1. A lot of stuff for the new movies coming out. I mean, Studio Series is looking really good next year. But at the same time, this year, you think for the 40th anniversary, they'd be doing a lot more. So give me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. Check out my other videos as well. I got more Transformers retrospectives, news, and more coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for all that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.